isn't Mark so much, but I mean I remember I was at James Madison. I do freelance work for ESPN, like no like big deal, like some production stuff. And I was doing a JMU football game, and I saw Coach Hansen, and he's like, hey, he's like, how you doing? You doing all right, huh? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, Coach, I got my life together. I'm like, I've been sober for like a long time. He's like, you should be. You should be, that, right? And then the one thing that I remember that got me, are we good?
Yeah, I'm rolling on it now.
Okay.
Do you want to take it back like 2 questions?
All right, take it back 2 questions?
I would think, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go back to, Rainey, let's go back 2 questions.
Okay. So we'll start with
the relationship between Mark and I. Like okay, we'll talk about that. Okay. We got like 5 more minutes. Perfect. Okay. The one thing about Mark is, and I talked about it, I've never had a time where I reached out to him and I called him that he didn't get right back to me. I mean, and that's the kind of guy he is. And I'm talking about every time. And with the great level of success he's achieved, that's not something that you find all the time. I mentioned, parts like, I'd been through some stuff in my life. He was always there for me, and that can't be said for everybody. He was the type of guy that every time you called or texted, he would pick up the phone. And the thing I mentioned about him too is that he is the type of person, when you talk to them, you believe in yourself a little more when you get off the phone or when you put down that phone after texting. It's like there's something about that person that I like about me. There aren't many people in this world that when you talk to them, you leave that conversation believing you can do more with your life. And that's the type of guy we're talking about.
Yeah. And then I think the question after that was what Mark presented to show the youth, what they can achieve.
Well, I mean, it's hard work, right? I mean, like, I don't know, and I was fortunate enough to work in the NBA for 7-8 years doing public relations with the team, traveling with them sometimes at all the practices usually. Ray Allen showed up, right? I remember that for the Celtics when they would come to town. It would show up about 8 hours early to shoot jump shots. That was the only guy that I saw maybe work as hard as Mark. I've never, for me personally, had an up-close and personal front row seat to see anybody work as hard as he works. I mean, that's what I've seen. I've witnessed in him a work ethic that I've seen in no one else. And that's what's special about him. And that's what's special about this story is, look, it's not like he worked hard 90% of the time. It's not like he was like, okay, I'm going to give 95%. The guy gave 100% all the time. And he ended up as an undersized kid from Fall River with a career in the NFL and the CFL. And now he's not doing so bad in Miami. He's got a little empire he's building down there. So that's all hard work and determination.
And then I think the last thing we were doing, you had another story you wanted.
Yeah, okay. You talk about family, and I was doing a football game for ESPN. I do freelance for them, just some production, and I saw Coach Hansen. It was a James Madison football game I was working, and I was like so excited to see him. And he was like, how you doing? You doing all right? Because he always thinks he's still, if you're one of his guys, he still thinks you're kind of a screw. He's like, you doing all right? I'm like, yeah, Coach. I'm like, doing great in life. I got turned my life around. I'm sober 7 years. He's like, you should be. You should be. But he's like, you should. How's McShay, huh? Is he talking to people? So it's like, but the best ever. I'm walking away from Coach Hansen, and to me, this is this family. I'm walking away, and I'm like, I must be like 8 or 9 yards away. We're in this hotel. I'm going back to my room, and JMU's about to get on the bus, and they're about to leave. And he goes, Peter. And I turn around, and he goes, I love you. And I remember being like, dude, that hit me right in the heart. I was like, and here we are. This is like 22, 3 years later. And the guy's like, I mean, I was like, wow. And I felt that love. And I have it for him and for other guys in the program. And to me, in a nutshell, that's kind of what this whole deal is about.
Yeah, that's great, man. That reminds me of the story that Ramon Streeter told. I don't know if you got to see that one yet, but
no, I haven't.
Oh man, you got to see it. I actually exported it as a single clip, and it's about 10 minutes long. It's in that playlist that I sent you.
Okay.
But he talks about how Coach Reed, Coach Cullen, Coach Hansen, and Coach Leonard drove up to D.C. after Ramon had graduated and spent the night with him after his dad passed away. And it's a really cool story, man. If you get a chance to watch that,
I will. Yeah, I mean, dude, the stuff has been awesome. So I'm pumped to watch more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost the video feed. I can hear you, but I can't see you
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, that's all right. Same here.